You sell systems. You help clients build businesses that run without them. You coach them out of the chaos. So why does your business stop the second you do? The average solo owner spends 68% of their time working in the business. Answering, chasing, fixing. Only a third is left for the work you actually sell. You are the bottleneck you tell your clients to remove. And I know that stings a little, but by the end of this video, you'll have built the one system that takes you out of the day-to-day. It's a command center that tells you what needs you today and runs the rest without you. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan. I build AI operating systems for coaches and consultants, and I'm building my own so my business runs without me. And this is the system I started with. What we're building today is a command center that runs your whole business. Whatever lives in your business can go into it. So you're not starting from nothing. If you've already got an AI operating system, you've already got the foundation, your data layer, and your business context. You just point it at one place. You can pull almost anything into a command center like this, but today I'm going to pull 4 things in. 1, my daily brief. So what actually needs me today out of everything going on. 2 is my what's going on today from today's calendar. 3 is my lead and clients that are due for a follow-up today. And 4 is project deadlines and reminders so nothing slips. And this is going to be shown to you in 2 places. 1, on your phone as a message, the same as a daily brief, and on your computer as an actual dashboard you can click through. So your phone for when you're moving and your desktop for when you're working. Same picture in both places. It's updated once a day straight from your workspace, and you stop being the person who has to remember everything. The system remembers and you just decide. That's the command center. Now let me show you a quick demo. Here's where we're going to get to. These are the morning brief in the command center built already for us. It's the first thing I see every day, and not everything in the business is sent to me, just what needs me this actual day. It read my whole business and it surfaced 5 things. We can see them here, both in my Telegram, which would come to my phone, and in my web app command center. I just click across the 5 tabs or I read the brief. It tells me about my leads, projects, calendar, and each one in its own view. So whether I'm at my desk or on my phone, it'll still come to me. Didn't have to open 5 apps. I didn't try to remember anything. It's all in one place, and it told me where I'm needed today. And that's where we're going. So let's get into building it. I'm not going to code this by hand. It's a big build, so I'm going to describe what I want. I'm going to let Claude Code plan it out and build it for me. I've got Claude Code open here. I'm going to start with an explore prompt. My explore command basically allows me to put in an idea that I have that I want to build, tell it a bit about it, and then it asks me questions, and it creates a plan for me to go and implement. So I'm going to type /explore, and then I'm going to talk out my idea because talking is much faster than typing, and we can get a lot more in much faster. So the Explorer is going to be this: a command center for my business that pulls together everything in my AI operating system workspace. I wanted to use my existing Data OS and Context OS as the foundation. Each morning, pull today's calendar, leads, and clients due for a follow-up, project deadlines, and anything urgent. Run an urgency pass on each source, like my daily brief does, to surface only what needs me today. Deliver it in 2 ways: a daily brief to Telegram, and a web command center. I open it from my workspace with tabs for the brief, calendar, leads and follow-ups, and projects. Refresh this once a day. Pull from a pipeline Google Sheet, a projects Google Sheet, my calendar, and my Fathom meeting notes. Now it's a big prompt, so I'll let you read over it real quick. I'm just going to click enter and let it run for me. And so the explore command asks me a question about it, so we can take a look at it over here. It tells me what we've already got going on. We're reusing our data and context OS, our daily brief, and we have the sources to pull from. It just needs a few questions on how to answer everything. I'm going to answer all these questions, and I'll come back when the full plan is ready to use. And so we come back, and here's the full Explorer for us. We can take a look at it. It has the proposed solution, read the 4 sources, run an urgency test across all of them, flag it if it's urgent or if it was promised, and drop the rest. Deliver the result 2 ways with a reason for every item. How it works: it does the collect for all the data sources, an urgency pass, writes the brief, and sends it to Telegram, and adds it to our web command center, and then puts it on a schedule that happens every day. It's producing a Telegram brief, an HTML file for the command center, and the new morning command center morning task. Has a scope that we can take a quick look at here, some components and their descriptions with their efforts on building, what's out of scope, technical considerations, all of the connections, and the next steps. So I can take this and do the /create plan to get a more in-depth plan, and that's what it's recommending because this is more of a larger build. But that's my plan. It connects to all my sources, my calendar, my pipeline sheet, project sheet, and my meeting notes, just like I asked. And I'm not going to be building it from scratch. We're going to use that create plan command and then give it to Claude Code to implement when that's done. And we're using things that I've already built, such as my data OS, my context OS, because a good thing to know about building with Claude Code is borrowing before you build. Borrow from your own workspace or even from skills and stuff that other people have created and put online for free. It's going to run the urgency pass, and that's another thing that's being borrowed from the daily brief. It'll tell me what's due, what's slipping, and what actually needs me today. And it's going to pull it all into one brief, giving me two different faces to look at it on my phone or on a web dashboard, so it gets to me wherever I am. And it's a lot, I know. That's why we plan it before we build it, so it catches problems before even a single line of code gets written. But this looked right to me, so we're going to get into building it now. Now, since this is a YouTube video, I'm not going to show you an actual build with my real data. So I've created some dummy data, and I'm going to show you what each step of the build is going to output so you get a real idea of how this works. So the plan's set, and let's say I built it with Claude one piece at a time. Let's take a look at the first piece. So we're back here at our Explore here, but we're going to just assume that the thing is built. And the first thing we're going to do is take a look at pulling all of the data in. And I'm going to say, load in all 4 data sources and give me a quick summary of each. We're just going to click enter here. I'm pointing it at 4 things: my projects, my pipeline, my calendar, and my meeting notes. And so after a few seconds, it's pulled everything in. We can take a look at it. We see that we have 7 leads in the pipeline, 7 people. There's 6 active projects, 3 things on today's calendar, and 3 recent calls in our recent meeting notes. But that's everything in one place. 7 leads, 6 projects, 3 things today in my notes. You would think to skip things like this and jump straight into the clever AI bit, but AI is only as good as the data you give it. And a command center is only as good as what you pointed at. But right now it can see my whole week and nothing's buried in an inbox or a sheet I forgot to open. Now the next part is the main thing that matters. Pulling everything is easy, but knowing what to ignore is the hard one. So I'm going to tell Claude our second prompt to show us how the urgency pass works. I'm going to say, pull out only what needs me today, flag it if it's urgent or something I promised, and tell me what you're leaving out. And then I click enter again and let it run. And so I gave it one rule: only surface something if it's urgent or if I promised it, and everything stays quiet. And so what it actually pulled out is the following. We've got our leads and follow-ups with Acme Consulting, chase the proposal, urgent, send it 6 days ago, no reply. We've got Bright Path as well, prep the discovery call. It's at 11 today, and it needs me to prep my notes for the meeting. We've got 3 projects, 2 things promised in those projects, landing tomorrow for the first one, send the onboarding for the second, and starting the Q3 deck on the third. And it reminds me of the calendar thing today from the lead and follow-up. Then it tells me what I'm leaving out and why. Ball's in the other person's court for this one. Not ready till mid-June for this. Cold for 6 weeks, low prio. Workshop prep, June 8th, plenty of runway. So you get the idea. Some things are not priority. Some things have time before they become priority, and they're staying left out. So it's said about 5 things that were urgent out of 20-something. And telling me why it has ignored things allows me to understand how it's working and allow me to be more confident in what it's putting out. It saw all of it and decided none of those things needed me. And so that decision made every morning is the whole product. So you're not reading everything, you're reading what it chose for you. And you understand why it chose it that way. The next thing is turning those 5 things into something that I can read in 30 seconds. So the next section is going to be creating a morning brief that we can do that reading for. So I'm going to say to Claude, create the one morning brief in sections with reasons for each follow-up, order by what needs me first. And I'm going to click enter again. And so it comes back to me in one brief with 4 sections. It has our communications, leads and follow-ups, projects, and today's calendar. Every line carries a reason, unless it's a calendar meeting, which doesn't really matter. We can see here, we need to chase that proposal, follow up with Bright Path, work on our projects, and then it just gives us today's calendar at a glance. So instead of searching through a whole bunch of different apps, I can act on all of these in seconds because I know where they're coming from and where to go. So to demonstrate how this looks like on my phone, I can say, send a demonstration of this to Telegram in the general topic, click enter and let it send to my Telegram. And so we can see any second now, the message should be coming up in my Telegram here on screen, but you can imagine this on my phone. There it is, same message, morning brief, communications, these follow-ups, projects, and today's calendar. So you can imagine this on your phone and get everything that would be for today while you're out doing a morning errand. Now the phone brief is one face, now for the second, a place I can sit down and actually run my business from. So I'm going to go to Claude Code again, and I'm going to say, build the same brief, but into a web page with tabs, use my brand colors, navy and orange, and save as commandcenter.html. And so I hit enter there, and it's going to go and create that output for me. And so it's created that document, and we can go and open it real quick. And we can see we have the 5 items in the brief, 7 leads, 6 projects, 3 meetings, creates the 5 that needs us. We can see it all here. So prep for the call, send the audit, chase the Acme proposal, send the onboarding, and start the strategy deck. And then we can click through each of the tabs. So we see the ode and urgent communications tab, the 3 different things. We have a lead list and follow-ups with last contact, stage, next action, a projects tab with their statuses and their deadlines, and a calendar with the next few things coming up. You can see that it's on brand, it has the tabs, and it's something that I would actually open at the start of the day and just see the summary for. And it's matching the same brief that goes to my Telegram, so no matter the place I pull it up in, it's the same thing. But notice that I didn't design this. It was a little simple, but I can definitely improve it later. But I just described it, and Claude Code built it for me, styled to match my brand, and that's the build layer of your AI operating system. This part gives you the whole thing, which is a face you'd actually use, and you can start building new tools yourself to incorporate into this command center and grow it as you grow your business. But now there's just one thing left. Right now, I just ran this by hand as a demonstration, and I want it to run itself. So how would you tell that to Claude? Well, there are scheduled jobs on both Windows and Mac computers that run things automatically for you, and we can just tell Claude to implement those for us. So I'm going to go over to Claude, and I'm going to type something like this. I want this to run every morning, where we send the brief to my phone and stop after my workday and update the command center. Just click enter as usual, and that's all I tell it. And every morning it's going to start before my day, refresh both, and send the brief to my phone. And when I clock off at the end of the day, there's not going to be any pings at night. But that's it, it's built. You can see over here, every morning before your day starts, pulls in all the sources, goes to command center and sends to your phone once, and then it's quiet, fires a single time in the morning, so you're not pinged again. And after your workday, it stays silent, but the dashboard's still there if you want to open it at nighttime. You can see some more information about what it's doing, pulling everything in, urgency pass, build the brief, command center, put on a schedule, but that's the whole build. Tomorrow morning, before I've opened a thing, the brief is on my phone and the dashboard is current. 5 things are waiting for me, each with a reason on why, and I didn't have to open a whole bunch of different apps because everything got gathered for me and I didn't have to hold it all in my head. Now the business tells me where it needs me, and I can do this every day, whether I'm at my desk or not, and that's the command center. It pulls in your whole business into one place, tells you what it needs you today, and it runs without you. So you sell systems, and now you've got one of your own that actually helps you run your business. If this was useful, subscribe. I record regular videos on how to implement AI into your business, and tell me in the comments, what's the one thing your business still can't do without you in the room? Thanks for watching.